Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. I'm here in my house because it's noisy outside. Building, kids, roosters, dogs, horns, everything else. So I'm inside the house, so I thought I'd do a quick video. Hopefully you'll like this video coming up. It's some things that you need to be aware of before coming to the Philippines so you can step up your game. I've done videos on each one of these topics, maybe some or maybe not, but I wanted to talk about it today. And you really don't realize, but it just things that help step up your game when you're coming here. So you can kind of be prepared. A lot of people are getting here and they're saying, well, why didn't you tell me that? Why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you? It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, common sense tells you come here anyway and figure it out. But a lot of people kind of want to know what's going on before they hit the trails and come here. They want to know, like, what can I really expect? So here's some things. It's like 8 or 9 things I want to talk about. Banks can be hard to find and actually find and make sure that they have money or funds available. So just because you go to the bank don't mean the funds are available, and they may or may not accept your card, even though you are Visa or MasterCard, and or it doesn't really matter, or Star, or Cirrus, or any of the other ones out there. In some cases, it doesn't matter. I have 2 cards that will not work at all. They're MasterCard and Visa, and they're good debit card. One's a debit card, one's a credit card. It just won't work. So, what you have to do is just to be prepared for things like that. Make sure when you get here, test your card. Make sure you go to where you know you can trust the bank, meaning a BDO. It's usually a good choice, or a BPI is a good choice. As far as opening up accounts, that's entirely up to you. Some say you never have a problem, but why create a problem when there's no really a problem? Keep your money in U.S. You have to have a main address there, but just keep your money there, because banks only secure up to a certain amount here, and there's so many guys that have so many problems. Just so many. I get probably, I don't know how many emails talking about problem with the bank. The bank took my money, and now my Social Security check was deposited and it's gone. Well, what do you mean it's gone? The bank took it. Well, what do you mean they took it? I had to deal with that yesterday with a guy. The bank took the money for Social Security and said it's going to be 15 days before he can have his funds available. Why 15 days? There's a BDO up in Manila. Why 15 days? I don't know. Did you raise sand? Yes, I did. Told him basically give me my money, and then he has an account there. He has like 7,000 US in there. So I yanked out the 7,000 and said I will yank that money out whenever you make it available. So the branch manager says, well, it will be available in 10 or 15 days, but really 15 days, he said. So you have to be very, very, very careful. It was fine and dandy for the last 2 years, but now all of a sudden there's a problem. That's what you have to be. Food here may be hard to have. You're not going to be able to get your Western burgers like you like. You may not be able to get the steaks and salads and fruits that you would normally have in the U.S. So be prepared. Depends on where you live. If you're in Davao or Manila or Bohol or some of the other places, Naga, you can get some of the fruits and vegetables because they ship it in from other countries. Here, where I'm at, there's really not a lot of choice. You can go buy a bell pepper. It costs you $5 for a bell pepper about the size of my fist. Things like that. You can do that. They have them. No zucchini. There's a lot of things not available here. You just have to be prepared for. Clothes can be hard to get. I mentioned this before in a video. Big guy, clothes, shoes, things like that. Now, on a positive side, glasses are great to get here. Teeth are great to get worked on. That's where Ruth's at right now. She's getting her tooth worked on. She's had a toothache, so she went there by herself instead of me traveling there with her, and you understand why. That's another thing you have to be aware of. Let your lady do most of the things like that. I walk in that door, she's going to pop on another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 peso to the deal. Remember, 1,000 peso is $20. It's easy to throw $20, $20, $20, $20. If you have $100 in your wallet, it's easy to go through that $100 fast. Getting a visa, a tourist visa, your visas, your SRVs, 13As, some people have no problem. A lot of people have problems. What I mean the problems are, here's a few examples. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. You need to come back. You need to redo your paperwork. Well, why do I need to redo it? Well, it was in black ink. It needs to be in blue. We're so sorry. Oh, by the way, sir, your initial is A, your middle name, and you spelled it out. We're so sorry. You got to resubmit that again. Well, the NBI said I had to put that down. No, the NBI is wrong. You need to do it this way, not what the NBI says to. So resubmit. Now, each time you resubmit that, it's anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8 to 12, 14 weeks to get a reply back. You don't get a reply back the first day or 2 days or 3 days. It can take a while. Now, I'm only speaking experience from all the guys in my area. A couple of guys in Luzon. Here's an example: a guy in Luzon submitted his paperwork, everything's fine, 13A, everything's fine and dandy, comes back, everything's fine, goes through his probationary, comes back fine. Sir, you have to resubmit a new NBI because you are it's past the due date, because they're only good for 6 months, right? So if it takes them 6 months to get it back and your NBI is gone, you got to go back through the process again. Well, you got to get an appointment, you got to go down there, and then you have to wait 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks for that to come back. So you can see the troubles. Well, he submits that again. Come to find out, they filled out and put his middle initial in, this time his whole name, and it needs middle initial only. So he had to go resubmit, and he's still under that process right now. He's very angry. And he's had a 13A now for 3 years, 4 years, and it's still under the going process. Getting around could be a problem too. You need to buy a multi-cab or motorcycle or something. Getting around can be a problem. Also, think about this: if you're out and about, rain, sun, all that stuff, the sun will bake you here. If you're out in the sun, it can really get you. Repairs on cars can really get complicated. Parts, aircon, car parts. Make sure you find a vehicle that can get the car parts. Not everybody has a Ford alternator or an alternator for a Ford. Not everybody has a radiator for the Ford F-150 you just bought. You have to order it. And you order it, it could take anywhere 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. It could take 1 week, depending where it's at. My friend of mine is still waiting on a radiator for his brand spanking new F-150 that the truck was driving down the road, shot a hole right through the front end grill. And trucks do that here a lot, by the way. The tires and the big trucks hit those rocks and they shoot. They shoot like rockets. You guys seen that happen. Anyway, he lost his radiator on his brand spanking new truck. Money can go fast here, and that's another thing. Money can go really fast. It's actually things like that you really don't really think about. Money goes fast anywhere. It does, it's just not here. But money can just disappear here fast. And Ruth and I were talking about that also, because things are a little bit, it's like you said, 10, 20% higher now than it was. We passed gas stations yesterday that the price of gas now is 61 per liter. And they projected here it's going to go to 65 per liter because of what's going on. It may go to 70 liter by the end of March, 1st of April. And I could see it going as high as $1, 100 a liter, 100 peso, which is $2 a liter. I can actually see that happening because we're seeing so many fluctuations. The closer it gets CDO, the gas is cheaper. The higher it get away from CDO, the more expensive gas is. And you understand that because a lot of the freighters coming in, the oil companies and the gasoline companies bringing their Shell, and some of us bringing their oil in here and the gasoline in here. So it makes sure also, another thing I wanted to say before I close this out, building can be a struggle. Building can be a problem. Building, just because you bought that chain link fence doesn't mean when you go back they're going to have it. So make sure that you budget accordingly and make sure you budget the dollars for that. First, an example, I went to go buy the chain link fence, bought enough, thought it came in 8-foot lengths. They do not come in 8-foot lengths. They come in 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. Some came in 2 feet lengths. And you pay the same amount of money. I said, why am I paying the same amount of money on this one that is 7 feet, and you told me you're 8, and this is 2 feet? And they said, well, sorry, sir, we're so sorry this happened to you. There's nothing we can do about it. It's China. Well, but you're charging me the same price. Well, sorry, sir, there's nothing we can do about it. Sorry, sir, there's no credit. Sorry, sir, we can't give you more fencing. Sorry, sir, you're just out of luck. Sorry, sir, it's okay, we'll feel sorry for you, but you're okay. You'll manage. And so sometimes you'll have to deal with that also. It's okay, sir. It's okay, sir. You don't have to worry about it. But that fencing out there, it cost me $1,000 to put that fence up. And it should not cost me $1,000 to put that fence up. $1,000 to put up a simple fence that should I should have had that fence up. I mean, I could have bought some poles, concrete, and put up my own fence as far as that goes, but they don't have that availability here. What were you chewing on? What is that? Oh, he's chewing on this one, cardboard. So I think she's getting enjoyment out of that. You leave that cardboard alone, honey. So that's today's videos. There's some things that you need to be aware of, but boots on the ground. So when you come here, you're prepared. Okay, if the card's not available, I'll go get a Palawan card, or I'll go get a RD card, RD Palawan, or I will go get a card. Now what that means is a card that you can use here in the Philippines to pull money out, or to purchase things, or to buy things. So when you go there, just say, I want one of your internal cards. I'll give you 10,000 peso, and you give me 10,000 back, and there's a small transaction fee. And so you'll have that money available for emergencies or something that happens that you're like, say for instance, you're stuck on the road and you don't have anything, but you have that card. You can, and there's always an RD, there's always a Palawan, there's always a somewhere you can actually pull money. MoneyGram you can pull out. There's somewhere that you can pull out, but not always. Finding a bank is the easiest thing. And they are on every corner, but it does not mean that your card, even though it's say a Bank of America card, or even a Charles Schwab, everybody swears by card. Those cards, I had to turn mine back in. It would not function properly here. So I just got a Capital One, which I had it for years now, and it reimburses all international fees, everything. It does better than a Charles Schwab. For me personally, that and my Chase card and my Wells Fargo cards are fine and perfect for me. But I wanted to talk about this because guys are saying, well, why didn't you tell me? A guy got upset at me this morning in Manila that, why didn't you tell me? Well, why am I supposed to tell you? There's other vloggers online who probably said the same things I said, but in a lot of cases, they're, you have to kind of figure out things for yourself. Like, this guy was upset at me because I did not tell him his bank cards doesn't work here, and I am so sorry. I said, so he said I had to borrow money from my fiance so we could get around. I said, well, the easiest thing to do, and that's the reason why I say keep your money in USA. Just transfer money to your fiance through app, and then that's the easiest way, and that way you don't have to worry about it. He said, I did, but it takes like 8 hours for it to come through. And I said, well, Remitly, we'll transfer all those, do it within an hour, or Send Value, do it within an hour. He said, well, they got me on hold because I use a browser here in the Philippines, and it would not go through because the browser showed the Philippines, and they're not sending money to the Philippines. I said, well, just get them on the phone and tell them you need that money as transaction now, and you'll figure it out later. I told him, go get you a Palawan card or RD card, take and put 20,000 peso, $400 on it, and you won't have to worry about it. And then get your cards figured out there. So that's his goal. Now, the gentleman brought money with him, but he had already spent it, gone through it. And as we know, it's easy. I don't care if you brought $500 or $5,000. It doesn't take long for you to spend money. I mean, come on. I can go anywhere and spend $5,000 because I want this, that, this, that. But especially when you're traveling, it's really easy to go through it. So I'm sorry this is 13 minutes and 40 seconds, but I got to rambling on. But I wanted to make sure to tell the guys, please be aware. And a shout out to Rod in Manila. I am so sorry that you're having all the troubles. And I always try to tell you. And I said, I think you missed some of my videos. And he said, I probably did. So there you go. Hey, how you like my handy dandy notes on my... No, this thing is nice. I just put my notes on here. I can write on it with my pen, and it makes it nice so I can actually do a better live stream than I have been, or a message. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time. I want to thank everybody for always watching our videos.